We've all felt it. That tightness in your chest before a big presentation, the racing thoughts at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep, the knot in your stomach before an important conversation. We call it anxiety, and most of us have been taught to see it as the enemy, something to suppress, overcome, or medicate away. But what if we've been looking at anxiety all wrong? Today, I want to challenge the way we think about anxiety, because the truth is, anxiety isn't your enemy. It's actually trying to be your friend. And once you understand what it really is and why it exists, your entire relationship with it can transform. Understanding what anxiety actually is. Let's start with the basics. Anxiety is your body's natural alarm system. It's an evolutionary gift that has kept humans alive for hundreds of thousands of years. When our ancestors heard rustling in the bushes, anxiety made their hearts race, sharpened their senses, and prepared them to either fight or run. Those who had this system survived. Those who didn't became lunch. That same system lives in you today. Your brain hasn't evolved much since the savannah. It's still constantly scanning for threats, still trying to keep you safe. The problem is your brain can't tell the difference between a lion and a looming deadline. It responds to both with the same ancient alarm system. When you feel anxious, your body is flooding with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate increases to pump more blood to your muscles. Your breathing quickens to take in more oxygen. Your pupils dilate so you can see better. Blood flow redirects away from your digestive system. That's why you feel butterflies or nausea. Every single symptom of anxiety is your body trying to help you survive what it perceives as danger. The sensation is uncomfortable, yes, but it's not dangerous, it's not a malfunction, it's your body working exactly as designed. The message behind the anxiety. Here's where it gets interesting. Anxiety isn't random. It's always trying to tell you something. It's information, not just sensation. Think about it this way. Physical pain tells you that something needs attention. If you touch a hot stove, pain yanks your hand back. If you sprain your ankle, pain tells you to rest it. Pain isn't the enemy, it's the messenger that protects you from further harm. Anxiety works the same way, but for psychological and social threats instead of physical ones. It's your internal notification system saying, hey, something here matters to you. Pay attention. When you feel anxious about a relationship, it might be telling you that connection is important to you, or that something in that relationship needs addressing. When you feel anxious about your career, it's often because you care deeply about your purpose and contribution. When you feel anxious about your health, it's your mind prioritizing your well-being. The anxiety itself isn't the problem. The problem is usually one of three things. Either there's a real issue that needs addressing, or you're focusing on something outside your control, or you're listening to outdated stories your mind is telling you about danger that isn't actually there. So why have we been getting it wrong? If anxiety is natural and informative, why does it feel so terrible? Why do so many of us struggle with it? Part of the problem is how we've been taught to respond to it. We live in a culture that treats anxiety as weakness, as something to hide or overcome through sheer willpower. We're told to just relax or stop worrying or think positive. This creates a secondary layer of suffering. We become anxious about anxious. Psychologists call this the second arrow. The first arrow is the anxiety itself, uncomfortable but natural. The second arrow is our judgment about the anxiety, our resistance to it, our belief that feeling this way means something is wrong with us. That second arrow often hurts more than the first. When you resist anxiety, you create a war inside yourself. Your body is trying to protect you, and you're fighting against it. This resistance actually amplifies the anxiety. It's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. The harder you push, the more force pushes back. Additionally, modern life creates a perfect storm for anxiety. We're constantly overstimulated, sleep-deprived, and disconnected from nature and community. We're bombarded with news designed to trigger our threat detection systems. We compare our behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reels on social media. We've created an environment that keeps our alarm systems ringing constantly. Befriending your anxiety. So, how do we shift from seeing anxiety as an enemy to understanding it as a friend, even an imperfect one? The first step is acceptance, not resignation, but genuine acceptance of what is. When you feel anxiety rising, instead of immediately trying to make it go away, pause, acknowledge it. You might even say to yourself, there's anxiety. My body is trying to protect me. This might sound simplistic, but it's profound. The moment you stop fighting the sensation, something shifts. You're no longer at war with yourself. You've created a tiny bit of space between you and the feeling. The second step is curiosity. Get interested in what your anxiety is trying to tell you. Ask it questions. What are you worried about? What matters to you here? What do you need? Often, when you listen to anxiety with genuine curiosity rather than fear or judgment, the message becomes clear. Maybe you're anxious because you need to have a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Maybe you're anxious because you're overcommitted and need to set boundaries. Maybe you're anxious because you're not living in alignment with your values. The anxiety isn't the problem, it's pointing you to what needs attention. The third step is wise action. Sometimes anxiety is telling you to do something, prepare more for that presentation, address that conflict, make that doctor's appointment. Other times, it's trying to protect you from dangers that aren't real, based on old wounds or distorted thinking. Learning to tell the difference is an art, but it starts with listening rather than reacting. Living with anxiety as an ally. When you start to see anxiety as information rather than an affliction, your entire approach changes. You stop asking, "How do I get rid of this?" and start asking, "What is this here to teach me?" You also begin to notice that some anxiety is actually desirable. The nervousness before you do something that matters, asking someone out, giving a speech, starting a business, that's not a sign you shouldn't do it. It's often a sign you should do it. It means you're stretching beyond your comfort zone. It means you care about the outcome. It means you're growing. The goal isn't to eliminate anxiety. A life without any anxiety would be a life without growth, without challenge, without care. The goal is to change your relationship with it, to develop what psychologists call anxiety tolerance, to be able to feel discomfort without needing to immediately make it stop, to let the wave rise and fall without being swept away by it. This doesn't mean you ignore anxiety or that severe, persistent anxiety doesn't warrant professional help. Clinical anxiety disorders are real and deserve proper treatment. But even in those cases, the treatment isn't about eradicating anxiety. It's about changing how you relate to it and developing skills to work with it rather than against it. The paradox. Here's the beautiful paradox. When you stop trying to get rid of anxiety, it often lessens on its own. When you make space for it, listen to it, and work with it, it doesn't need to scream so loud to get your attention. Think of anxiety like a smoke alarm. If smoke appears and the alarm goes off, you don't curse the alarm or try to destroy it. You're grateful for the warning, you address the smoke, and the alarm stops naturally. But if you ignore the alarm or try to silence it without addressing the smoke, it just gets louder and more persistent. Your anxiety is that alarm. It's not perfect. Sometimes it goes off when you're just cooking dinner and there's no real fire, but it's trying to help. And when you treat it as a helpful signal rather than an enemy, you can discern when it's warning you about real smoke versus harmless steam. Closing thoughts. So the next time you feel that familiar flutter of anxiety, I invite you to try something different. Instead of judging it, resisting it, or trying to make it disappear, pause, take a breath, thank your body for trying to protect you, get curious about what message it might be carrying. Anxiety isn't a flaw in your design, it's a feature. It's your mind and body's way of saying, "This matters, pay attention, you're human and you care about things." And that's not something to fix, that's something to honor. When you stop treating anxiety as the enemy and start seeing it as an imperfect but well-meaning friend, everything changes. You develop resilience, you develop self-trust, you develop the capacity to move through discomfort toward the life you actually want to live. Because in the end, courage isn't the absence of anxiety. Courage is feeling the anxiety and moving forward anyway,